and I'm sure the party is paying attention. The national chairman embarked on a thank you tour that attracted a lot of attention because the allegation was that he is interested in succeeding President Mahama.
Okay.
And that therefore that was seen as his way of introducing himself or campaigning for himself ahead of that tussle. Is the party worried by that there's already jostling for success to succeed Mahama?
You see, my brother, it's a good question. And I want to say this. We should not create a situation that doesn't exist.
Create a situation that doesn't exist.
The party is run by structures.
Okay.
Whoever is within the structure of the party has the blessing of the party to work in accordance with the party's rules and regulations. Okay. I am happy today that through gossip, through speculations, I know up to about 8 people who potentially can be president or can succeed
8
President Mahama, yes. And I'm happy because there were days when you were looking for a presidential candidate and you are turning your face and asking, hey, these people cannot do it too. Let's go and look for somebody outside. Those days are gone. We are going to have homegrown, local breed. Okay. Now, I have been, since we finished election, myself and the national organizer, because of my rule, I had some leverage of time from Jubilee House. So I'm always in the field with the national organizer. We've visited most of our constituencies throughout the country to explain the rationale behind the structure of how the president did his appointments, the fact that people need to be patient, and the fact that we still have to keep a strong party to complement the government. So we did that. The national chairman didn't go. The general secretary didn't go. And these are the arrowheads of the party.
Okay.
I have been fighting with them, including my general secretary, for us to go and do outreach. In fact, I did a memo, full memo on that. You see, you don't run a government and a party in Accra. The business is in the communities, the constituencies, and the regions. So even including ministers, if you are running your ministry, Ministry of Youth, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Agric, Ministry of Health, if you are running these ministries in Accra, you fail. And I mean it. You fail because the current dispensations are not the same as yesterday. In fact, even government communication, radio and television communication has shifted. Government communication have shifted from that. You have to now engage with the people in small groups for them to understand government vision because of high expectations, misinformation, disinformation. So you go to the people, you speak to them, they understand what you're about. So I have insisted that even regions, all the appointees, President Mahama have finished appointments, even though there are still places to do. Go back to your region. Let your region know you. So if a constituency secretary in the Upper West region, say Jirapa, okay, he must know that the National Security Coordinator is not coming from Nigeria. He is from Upper West. So if they have a problem, they can make overtures to what? Reach the National Security Coordinator for a help. That if they are looking for Gapua, all right, they can know that the Gapua boss is coming from their region and appointed from their region. It builds the clouds of the region. If you are Oti region, you know that I am from Oti region, Kofi Adams is from Oti region, Eduji is from Oti region, Agboja is from Oti region, and Volta region. It builds the political clout of that region. So the party should organize local programs. If, for example, my brother Eduji Tamaklo is the MPPA boss, there's a regional outreach, he's going back to his region. You know what? He'll put some small logistics in his car. He's not going to give to MPP people. He will give to NDC what? People. So I have been advocating for outreach programs. In fact, myself and Yamin are going to start one soon, where we are going into our MP specific project to ensure that nobody is disturbing the topology of the constituencies. People don't come and sit in Accra, you get money, you are disturbing the MPs in their constituencies. We are not going to agree. Allow the people the peace of mind to work. And also start building the chances and the profile on the problems to resolve them. Why are people not saying we shouldn't go? The national chairman of the party embarks on an outreach. Is a problem in his party. So, me, the Deputy General Secretary, what would you say? What would you say? I think that the national chairman would have commanded all of us to go at once. But you see, most 70% to 80% of national executives have been appointed into government. Do you know that?
Yes.
So even me, sometimes I go back and I fight with my boss, the general secretary. But you should have told me on this assignment. He said, no, I didn't call you because now where President Mahama has put you, we don't want to distract you from doing your work. So their intentions are not of any evil motive. So he doesn't have an appointment as a national chairman. If he decides to go and do a thank you tour, and in fact, it is true that we didn't run the campaign together. The campaign was run ad hoc.
Ad hoc.
We had 3 teams.
Okay.
We had the president's team, we had the national chairman's team, we had the first lady's team. And I even did a memo to say that if the president finished doing his thank you tour, regions and constituencies should also do thank you tours so that it tickles down the grassroots. There should be activity in the party. We want to keep the party strong.
Okay.
In fact, then we come back to this issue of chief of staff doing a work. So what?
You don't see anything wrong with
So what? No, so what? Chief of staff is doing a work. Is he doing work with MPP people? Is he working with MPP people? You see, we shouldn't malign ourselves needlessly. I, on several occasions, have gone to the chief of staff to virtually fight with him. And when I say fight, not disrespecting him, to tell him, Chief, you need to leave the presidency and go to the field. That is where the government is. We have to supervise the behavior of our appointees in the regions. We have to go and check whether they are doing the mandate of the president. You have to meet with the party structures there. Leave President Mahama to rest. Let's move to the field. So if the chief of staff was going to do this kind of meetings, he would say because of his presidential ambition. Yay. I have gone to the deputy chief of staff, Standogbe, several times to say, Chief, let's go to the field. He says, then something cross up. He says we should wait, something cross. So if Standogbe was going to tour the country as a deputy chief of staff in charge of operation, who must ensure that every single appointee is delivering the president mandate because he wants to be president.
No. His name has not. Of the 8, did you hear Standogbe's
I'm
name?
just saying that you don't see Standogbe capable of becoming a president.
No, but you said you've heard 8 names.
I'm just saying that
names.
I've heard of the chief of staff's name.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of the national chairman's name.
Mm-hmm.
So if they are all doing some activity
mm-hmm.
that inures to the benefit of the party, why should that be a problem?
What about perception?
What perception?
The perception that these people are currently focused on seeing who.
Do we want to keep our people in the rooms? Look, the general secretary is going to make rules. Mm-hmm. It is not going to be a free-for-all business. So you'll be shocked that you have people running for president. You'll be disqualified because of some conduct, some actions. You can't divert resources that are meant to deal with the party structures, the country, deal with foot soldiers. You can't divert it to your personal use for your ambitions. If that is what is seen, it's a different conversation. All right? Some ministers may want to be presidents. It's a good thing. But they must ensure that in building their personal this thing, you don't interfere with the structures of the party and interfere with the functionality of government by compromising your rule. You understand? Okay. Rules will be made. We are advocating. In fact, the last fake neck that we had, the old man leadership wanted all the people who have gotten appointments as executives to resign. I was excluded because I'm a liaison. I insisted that that decision was a bad one. And the leadership agreed. We persuaded on leadership that, look, the motive and the reason why people have been appointed in this manner is to try and integrate the party into government, right? So if you look at a lot of the deputy CEOs, they are all party people. So in that ministry or that agency, you have a party person to champion some quasi-party agenda. You understand? So if you ask this man, who have worked for the party for 8 years in opposition, to resign because he's been given some deputy NADMO coordinator position, who else is going to give him that motivation, that compensation, that sort of recognition? And we don't have money to be sharing to everybody. So we should rather make a rule that if you want to run and you are an appointee, resign 1 year to the time of the contest. So very soon, when the timetable come out, it will come with that rule made by the General Secretary and the party.
Yeah, if you
want to run the next year's election as an executive, resign now so that another person takes over, so that you go and do your campaign. Okay?
So if you fail to do that, you are in violation of the rule.
You'll be disqualified from contesting. If you are an appointee, you cannot sit in government and make money and go and remove somebody who is an MP or some executive and hasn't gotten an appointment. Resign from your role. Maybe the person may take over your role and leave that party position for you to go and contest. So you resign. All these rules will be made. So why are we in a hurry to bastardize, create confusion when there is none? We should not introduce disunity when there's no need for that.
The party does not see a problem?
We need more activity on the ground. Every minister, and they can bear you witness, every minister I have called, I don't call them for contracts and money. I said, let's go to the ground. CEOs, let's go to the ground. Whatever contract and opportunity you share, don't give it to only people in Accra parading to be the sponsored party. No, share it small. Let us go to Upper East. Let us go to Upper West. Let us go to Oti region. Let everybody get small. So if the national chairman is going to the party base to do activity that will bring rejuvenation, that will bring excitement, why do you read his presidential ambition along that? He's the national chairman of the party. He owes no one an apology to go to the party base. The chief of staff is the chief of staff of the government. Former regional chairman of the Eastern region, 2 times chief of staff. If he wants to be president, so what? He shouldn't walk. He used to be big when we're doing campaign. He used to be a bit fat. Now, when I see him, he looks even more healthier than me. You are not happy about that? Other people joining him. He has a tradition of doing his work in Trasaco. In fact, I even tried to join for some time. When you go to Trasaco every Saturday, the chief of staff has a number of boys, about 100 or 200, all rich guys. That is the place I met this very rich contractor from Ashanti region. I met him there. He's one of the people who work with him. So Saturdays, they join the chief of staff, they work. When they finish, they go and eat kenke. It's like a kenke party. So if he extends it, he's not going about telling journalists, make me president. He's not going about party, make me. He's working, mobilizing party people and working. It's activity. 500,000 was given to market women in Medina, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how much that is a relief for Susu? Do you know how much that is a relief for Maslock? So if everybody goes to the ground every day and spend 1 million on party supporters, After 1 year, do you think there will be pressure anywhere? Should we key all presidential potentials in the room and lock the key? And so don't even travel to Volta region because you want to be president. Is that what we want? Is that what we want as a party? We have taken note of the commentaries. For example, one from Ras Mubarak, one from MP for
Okay.
If the next time we see such a thing, you will be called and reprimanded.
For raising an issue.
You don't run our party on social media. Ras Mubarak is a potential minister. He should not be on social media running and making commentaries that can divide the party. We are the executives of the party, not Ras Mubarak. He's a member of the party. The MP in Hohoi is not an executive of the party. We run the party. If you see something that is not good, we are in government. We consult. We discuss one another. We may call our national chairman and say, Papa, what do you say? You should have involved all of us. Let's amend the program and let's do it like this. We consult. And you cannot always get it right. But to go and sit on social media, attack your president, your national chairman, your party's national chairman, it's not good. Why? Why should we be on such attacks as executives of the party? And then you have a response from an MP. We will not allow people to bring the party into disunity. We will not. And members of the party, I'm pleading with you this morning, don't join the fray of the confusion. Depart and associate yourself. Some of us have decided that I'm not going to be part of selecting a presidential candidate. President Mahama is the leader of the party. He will have 80% to 70% oversight on who becomes the next presidential candidate. I can tell you.
80.
Yes, and if the president decides that go with this person, that is where I will go.
How? But you cannot choose for the party.
I'm loyal to the leader of the party. He's the president.
But the process of electing
just
a flag
as if the national chairman calls me and says, go and make this person, I will do it because he's my national chairman. Loyalty of service. So it is President Mahama's legacy that will determine whether we are in power in the next 8 years or not. You see President Akufo-Addo, he has run down the party. MPP. He's destroyed the party. It was President Akufo-Addo who destroyed the party. President Akufo-Addo, he ran down the MPP. He didn't care. So if we help the president to succeed, which is my preoccupation and the only reason I'm in government, other than that, I have no business being in government. And Senator, read my lips. The day I wake up and I felt undermined to the extent that I am of no use at the presidency, I'll resign.
You leave.
I don't have business. People know me for that. I'm not somebody positions matter to me. It is service and work that matters to me. So this is a call for all of us to recheck ourselves. You see, because other people haven't gotten appointment and benefits now, there is the seemingly unnecessary but some bitterness that is overriding people's reaction on things. We have to be careful because we may destroy people only to get to know that it is not true. So a member of parliament should not join commentaries. He cannot speak better than Asiedu Nketia, who is the national chairman of the party. In fact, he has the power to cause us to summon Ras Mubarak to come and explain where he got his comment from. It is not for an MP to go and be responding. And when you do that, you introduce a needless obstruction and distraction. And then Chief of Staff is doing a work. He should expand the work. I want him to go to the regions and begin to meet with the chiefs, the elders, on behalf of the president. I want to see national chairman do that. That is how we are going to succeed as a government. The proximity of government with the people is what is going to determine our success. Look, Cocoa Board CEO, I sent him a message, and the Minister for Agri, I told him your conversation on Cocoa Board will fail. Because you see, Randy Abe is a good man, but he is a strange voice to the grassroots. Both MPP and NDC, he is an elite. His English may not be understood by the farmer. So Cocoa Board conversations, you deal with the party structures in the cocoa growing distance. Let's do community and stakeholder engagement. Let's tell the farmers how MPP have mortgaged Cocoa Board, stolen money from it among themselves. Why is the Cocoa Board CEO still working? When they have procured things they didn't need. And according to the CEO, he's spoken about this. Till today, Cocoa Board CEO have not been arrested. Why? So I told them their conversation on Cocoa Board will fail. These are farmers. Go to the farming communities and meet with the farmers and have a conversation with them. So we actually need government officials to go to the ground. If they are going, you say they want to be president. Before Dr. Manibu Ama and Kudi are deaf, I was speaking to Honorable Mutaka. He is my senior brother, but I fight him every day. I was speaking to Honorable Kofi Boa. I was speaking to Defense Minister. I was speaking to my boss, the Deputy Chief of Staff Operations, that I needed us to go out and have a road tour to actually look at the devastation in the mining communities. We're going to go to Western Region, Western North, and Ashanti Region to see the level of devastation so that we don't sit in Accra and just assume we know the problem. They agreed. It was a deputy chief of staff said, I don't want to enter into Galamsey issues because of the confusion and the suspicion. We're going to go so that we begin to engage the mining constituencies. And I can tell you that we have done a pilot of those programs. I personally went to communities to meet with the miners and the mining workers, and they agree with the policy of the government that we must transition from what is illegal to legal, and we must get people doing the right thing. The ones who are still doing illegal mining now are people who probably think they are close to political power. They have what it takes to go into any place and arrest these people.
Well, we have to bring this to a close. And
in summation,
but you have a succession plan.
Yes, we have.
The party has.
Let me tell you, the NDC, it's a funny party. If you don't know, the party knows who will succeed President Mahama.
How?
If you want open nomination, they know who to vote for. So you will not tell them. The party.
You're talking about the membership.
When Dr. Kwabena Dufo contested President Mahama, when we had Joshua Labi and co contesting President Mahama, these are affable people, well endowed. But the party say, hey, we needed President Mahama. In the last one, the one Dr. Kwabena Dufo stepped down. He stepped down a day to election, right?
Yes.
So he has campaigned, his structures were built and everything. What did President Mahama get? It's not 98%. It's not 98%. So the man stepped down a day to election. President Mahama got 98%. So the party, the branches knows who they want to be their leader. Money cannot influence them. Thank you tours cannot influence them. Health works cannot influence them. If we succeed as a government together, if we deliver on our mandate, if we arrest people who have stolen money, ministers who have stolen money, if we deal with this Galamsey issue, if the party gives us anybody, even Senator you as a presidential candidate, will make the person president.
Once you succeed, the
but
party
let me
succeeds
tell
in
you,
government.
If we fail, President Mahama fails, we are going to opposition. Just take it from me. If anybody thinks that President Mahama's success is not your business, it's a joke. The person is joking. We will not allow that level of selfishness in the party as far as we are executives. We have elders of the party. Today, as we speak, We have not been able to meet Council of Elders of the party. We have not been able to meet members of parliament of the party after election. We have not been able to do regional stakeholder engagement. That is where the building blocks of the party is from. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for President Mahama to do all of this? Can't party leadership, who think they are so powerful, right from the chief of staff to the national chairman, general secretary, can't we do this work on behalf of the president? Do we need a president to be present in everything? Don't we have a vice president? What is the justification that 8 months after election, we have not met our members of parliament to listen to their concerns? You want President Mahama to take that blame? What is the justification that, as we speak, after President Mahama's thank you tour, nobody in government is touring the regions, engaging with the chiefs, engaging with the churches, engaging with everybody, as we did in 2024 to win election? Nigel Gezi did a funeral yesterday. Do you know that nobody, government representation wasn't there, party representation wasn't there, people went there as individual representations? In government, mistakes doesn't destroy government, errors does. The party base is as solid and as ready as everything. The problem is the appointees, the people at the top, the appointees, the party structure, and government, the top. That is where the problem is. And if we come together, we don't have a problem. Ghanaians would think we are not serious if we get into this needless, destructive conversation of who will become a successor, who wants to become a president. I am happy. I want to see a lot of people becoming a presidential, materials, because they will go to the ground and they will take logistics and they will give to party people. That's the benefit they can get. President Mahama cannot do it all.
The more, the better. Thank you.
Yes, but if we do that, I think that the party and the government will stabilize. For now, our focus is President Mahama. A driver who is driving your U-turn bus, if you are sitting in that bus, it should be the prayer that the U-turn bus driver doesn't fall asleep, the U-turn bus driver doesn't fall sick, the U-turn bus driver doesn't feel demoralized. Other than that, you are heading to a ditch. All of us in the boat will capsize.
Okay, thank you.
I'm grateful.
MUSTAPHA GBANDE is Deputy Director of Operations at the Presidency and also Deputy General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress. We are back tomorrow.